ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ यश्छन्दसा मृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगुं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नमः श्री शङ्करानन्द गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे तत्पादाम्बुरुहद्वन्द्व सेवा निर्मलचेतसाम् सुखबोधाय तत्त्वस्य विवेकोऽयं विधीयते। शब्दस्पर्शादयो वेद्याः वैचित्र्याजागरे पृथक् ततो विभक्ता तत्संवित् ऐकरूप्यान्न भिद्यते तथा स्वप्नेत्र वेद्यं तु न स्थिरं जागरे स्थिरम् तद्भेदोतस्तयोः संवित् एकरूपा न भिद्यते सुप्तोत्थितस्य सौषुप्तः तमो बोधो भवेत् स्मृतिः सा चावबुद्धविषया अवबुद्धं तत्तदा तमः। In these verses, the teacher seeks to establish that consciousness, which is also called jnanam, knowledge, is nityam. It is changeless, not influenced by time. It was said how in the waking state, in all our experiences, how the objects of experiences keep on varying, but the knowledge associated with every experience is changeless. In the dream state also, there is a similar transaction. There are also different experiences are there. There are also the objects of experiences keep on changing, whereas the knowledge associated with the objects is changeless. Now the same is to be established in the deep sleep state also. Then we have established the nityatvam of jnanam. But before we say that the knowledge in deep sleep also is changeless, we first have to establish that there is knowledge in the deep sleep, because that is a matter of contention. Nobody questions that there is knowledge in the waking state. There is consciousness. Nobody questions that there is knowledge or consciousness in dream state. But there is a question whether or not there is consciousness in deep sleep state, and so first it is necessary to establish that knowledge is in deep sleep state. How do we establish? By the statement that we make after waking up. What do we say? I did not know anything. This is a common, whether we say, but we feel this, and we say also, I did not know anything. Now, this very experience, or the statement, I did not know anything, is a basis to establish how there must be knowledge in deep sleep. So the author says here that this statement, I did not know anything, is actually a memory. It is not an experience or it is not an inference, but it is a memory. And memory always presupposes knowledge. I did not know anything is a memory of the experience I gained in the deep sleep. So this memory proves that there must be an experience, and that experience is in the deep sleep. And experience can be there only when there is knowledge. And so from the statement, after one wakes up, I did not know anything, we arrive at the presence of knowledge in deep sleep state. That's the subject of discussion in the 5th verse. We read the commentary there. Now one by one these words are explained. Suptothitasya. We can just go over the word meaning again. Suptothitasya saushupta tamabodho bhavet smritihi. Suptothitasya, for the one who has waken up from the sleep. Saushupta tamabodha, the knowledge of ignorance in the deep sleep. Smritihi bhavet, that should be smriti, it should be a memory. And sacha avabuddha vishaya, every memory always is avabuddha vishaya, anubhuta vishaya, every memory always is, it pertains to a past experience. This is also a memory that I did not know anything. Therefore, it is also preceded by past experience. And therefore, there is experience in deep sleep. Avabuddham tat tada tamah tat tasmat. Therefore, tada means in the deep sleep, tamah avabuddham. Therefore, in the deep sleep, this tamah or ignorance is known. Means there is knowledge that illumines ignorance, that objectifies ignorance in deep sleep state. Now the commentator explains this. Suptothitasya, of the one who has woken up from sleep. Says here, Purvam suptah, paschat utthitah, suptotthitah. Supta, utthita. Supta means this one who has slept. Utthita, one who has arisen. Purvam suptah, one who was asleep earlier. Paschat utthitah, and one who arose later. He is called suptotthitah. Or you can say, so this is called karmadhaya samasa. Suptaschaso utthitah suptotthitah. That's one way of looking at it. Or suptam sushuptihi tasmat utthitah. You can call it panchami tatpurusha. Suptam is sushuptihi. Supta means deep sleep. Tasmat utthitah. One who has arisen from the deep sleep is suptotthitah. Meaning is the same. But the word is explained, the compound is explained in two ways. Suptotthita, one who was asleep earlier and woken up now, or one who has woken up from sleep. Tasya suptothitasya, of that one who has woken up from the sleep. Saushupta tamobodha. What is Saushupta? Sushupti kalina is Saushupta. That which obtains in the Sushupti of the deep sleep is called Saushupta. Sushuptau bhavam Saushuptam, that which obtains in Sushupti. So Sushupti kalinasya tamo bodha tamasaha bodha tamasaha ajnanaha ajnanasya yo bodha. So Saushupte tamasaha bodha Saushupta tamo bodha. Sushupti kalinasya, at the time of deep sleep, tamasaha, tamas means darkness. Tamasaha bodha, the bodha, tamas, darkness means ignorance. Bodha means knowledge of the ignorance in the deep sleep state. And how do you say? Jnanamasti na kinchit avedishamiti. That when one says na kinchit avedisham, I did not know, avedisham, na avedisham, I did not know, kinchit, anything, I did not know anything. So this is the knowledge of ignorance in deep sleep state. This statement that I did not know anything is what? The knowledge of ignorance in deep sleep state. Knowledge of not knowing anything in deep sleep. I did not know anything is equivalent to saying that I knew absence of everything. So that is the statement of knowledge of ignorance in deep sleep state. When I say I do not know Chinese language, I know that I do not know Chinese language. I know the ignorance of Chinese language. And so when I say I don't know Chinese language, it means that I know the ignorance of Chinese language, you see. And so that not knowing also expresses the knowledge of ignorance. So now what is this thing that I did not know anything? He says, Sa smrutihi eva bhavet. It is memory. Na anubhavaha. It is not an experience. But it is, that means it is not pratyaksha. It is not something that you are experiencing now, but you say I did not know anything, actually it is smruti or memory. Why do you say that? The Tikakara says, Tat karanasya indriya sannikarsha vyaptalingadehe abhavaditi bhavaha. When do we call a certain phenomenon experience or a perception? When there is indriya sannikarsha, when there is contact with sense organs. I say that I know this microphone because my eyes have contact with this object called microphone. So when there is contact with sense organs with the sense object, then what takes place is called experience or perception. But when I say that I did not know anything, or that I knew there was nothing, in deep sleep, at that time there is no contact of my sense organ or mind with the ignorance, because ignorance is something that is already gone. It doesn't obtain right now. Deep sleep does not obtain now. Therefore, ignorance of the deep sleep also does not obtain now when I wake up. And therefore, I cannot say that it is actually an experience of ignorance or there is a perception of ignorance, because indriya sannikarsha, the contact with ignorance is not there at this point when I am awake. Or somebody may say, maybe it's an inference. Maybe infer that I did not know anything. For inference also, you require what we call linga. You require some evidence. To infer the presence of fire, we perceive what? The smoke. So presence of the smoke leads us to infer the presence of fire. So something must be there by which we infer the presence of something else. But when I wake up, there is not a trace of deep sleep at all. And therefore, there is no evidence right now that I knew the ignorance in the deep sleep. And therefore, the equipment or the necessary conditions required for direct perception or necessary condition required for inference, none of them is present. And by the same token, conditions required for upamana, means comparison, or arthabhakti, presumption, anupalabdhi, absence, none of these conditions is present. And therefore we say that this statement that I did not know anything does not represent the present perception, nor does it reference inference, etc. And so what is it? It is smrutihi, it is memory. This is an important siddhant to understand, that when we wake up in the morning and say I did not know anything, it is memory. Alright, tataha kim, suppose it is memory, so what are you driving at? Suppose I did not know anything, that statement is memory, so what? Sacha avabuddha vishaya, moment you say memory, memory always must be preceded by an experience. Sacha means sacha smrutihi, avabuddha vishaya. Avabuddha anubhutah vishaya yasyaha sa avabuddha vishaya. Avabuddha means anubhuta. So memory always pertains to an object which has been experienced. Says ya smrutihi sa anubhava purvikayati vyaptihi loke drashtayati bhavaha. It is a common experience that memory always is preceded by an experience. Memory always arises from some past experience. Otherwise there cannot be memory. And I who must have experienced it. I cannot remember something that you have experienced. Nor can you remember something that I have experienced. Nor can I remember something that I have not experienced. If I know there is in my mind something that I have not experienced, it must be some kind of an imagination right now. But if there is memory, I must have experienced that object earlier. And this statement in the morning, I did not know anything in deep sleep. If it is memory, that shows that in the deep sleep, I must have experienced ignorance. So experience was present in the deep sleep, which means that the knowledge was present in deep sleep. Consciousness was present in deep sleep. Alright, so it was present. So what? Tato became. Suppose there was knowledge or consciousness in deep sleep, so also what? Again, what are you arriving at? Tatraha avabuddham tat tadatamaha. Tat tasmat karana. The tat in the verse avabuddham tat tadatamaha. Tat means tasmat karana. That means tasmat. Because of that reason, that na kinchit avedesham is a memory, and ya smrutihi sa anubhava purvika, every memory must be preceded by experience, and therefore tasmat karanat tat. The word tat has been interpreted two ways by the Tikakara. One meaning of the word tat is tasmat. Other meaning of the tat is tat saushuptam tamaha. That ignorance obtaining in the deep sleep is avabuddham anubhutam iti avagantavyam. And therefore, this memory shows that in the deep sleep, that ignorance was experienced. So deep sleep also, the those experience, those knowledge of ignorance. This is inference, which inference is here presented by the Tikakara, commented as Atrayam Prayogaha. When we arrive at, when this author says that therefore there was experience of ignorance and deep sleep, an inference is involved in that statement, understand? And what inference is involved? That is being clarified here by the commentator. Atra ayam prayogaha vimatam na kinchit avedishamiti jnanam anubhupurvakam bhavitum arhati. Vimatam vyavadaspadam, that which is subject to contention. What is it? Na kinchit avedishamiti jnanam. This knowledge on my part that I did not know anything, iti anubhavapurvakam bhavitum arhati. This knowledge must be preceded by an experience. Why do you say that? Smrutitvat, because it is a memory. And wherever there is memory, there must be a previous experience. Is there an illustration? Yes. He gives a Same Mata. It is Smrutivat. For someone who has gone away, and then he remembers his mother, then he says in his mind, that is my mother. When can there be memory of mother? When there is experience of mother. So wherever, in that illustration is that where the Hetu and the Sadhya, both of them must be present. That's called illustration. Hetu means that cause, and Sadhya means what you want to arrive at. Both of them must be present. Same Mata, someone who has gone away, he says or he remembers his mother. That's my mother. In that particular knowledge of mother, which that is of the nature of memory, and it is preceded by the experience of mother. You see? And now, if one of the elements is present elsewhere, the second element must be present. In Drashtant or illustration, both the elements are present, Sadhya and Hetu. Then, where you want to arrive at something, if Hetu is present, then Sadhya is proven to be present. Thus, when I say I did not know anything, it is memory, and therefore the other element, namely the experience, also must be there. This memory must be preceded by experience in deep sleep. If you understand what I am saying, take the common illustration, because this thing will come again and again. Take our common example of the fire on the hillock. I see the smoke. So I see the smoke, and then I infer the presence of fire. I make a statement, Parvato Vandiman, this hillock has fire. Why do you say Dhumatvat? Because there is smoke. Because Yatra Yatra Dhumaha Tatra Tatra Vandihi. It is our common experience that wherever smoke is, the fire must be there. Where did you find it? Yatha Mahanase, just as in a kitchen. So kitchen is an example where both smoke, which is Hetu, and fire, which is Sadhya, both of them are present. In the kitchen you see fire as well as smoke. What is smoke? Smoke is the Hetu. What is fire? Fire is Sadhya, what you want to arrive at. Both of the elements are present. Now on the hillock, only one element is present. What? Smoke. And therefore, the other element is established. Because here you have seen always invariably the association of smoke and fire, and there you see the smoke, and therefore invariably fire must be there. And so this hillock is called Paksha. In Paksha, where there is Hetu, the Sadhya is automatically arrived at. In the Drashtanta, there is Hetu and Sadhya both. In Paksha, there is Hetu and you arrive at the Sadhya. It's very common. We do this every day. Only when it is expressed in technical language sounds very complicated. Otherwise, we do this every day. Inference is something that we commonly do. We say, oh, I'm sure you must have eaten, your dinner. Now, how do you say that? Some evidence is there. Either is belching or something like that, from that. Because we know that belching comes only when somebody has eaten food. And you are belching. Therefore, you must have eaten food. So, I know that whenever I have eaten food, or when the belching comes, the food is there. I see belching there, so food must be there. So, I see the Hetu evidence, and I arrive at the conclusion, Sadhya. So, this was proved the presence of knowledge in deep sleep. Then, now continuing further, tasya anubhavasya savishayat ajnanat bhedam bodhantarat abhedam cha aha. As before, as in the waking and the dream states, the author shows here, in the waking and dream state, the knowledge is different from the object of knowledge. And knowledge in every experience is one. Here also in deep sleep, we have the knowledge of ignorance. So that knowledge is different from its object, namely ignorance, and that knowledge also must be same as the knowledge obtaining in the waking and dream states. So that's what tasya anubhavasya svavishayat ajnanat bhedam bodhantarat abhedam chaha in the 6th and 7th verses. Sabodho vishayat bhinnah nabodhat swapna bodhavat evam sthanatrayepyeka samvit tadvaddinantare māsābda yuga kalpeshu gata gamyeshvanekadha no deti nastametyeka samvidesha swayam prabha. Sabodho vishayat bhinnah. Sabodha, that knowledge obtaining in the deep sleep state, vishayat bhinnah, it must be different from its vishaya, namely ignorance. Just in the waking state, the knowledge is different from the objects such as spot, etc. So also in the deep sleep state, the knowledge must be different from the object, namely ignorance. Na bodhat bhinnah. However, that knowledge in deep sleep is not different from the knowledge in the waking, in the dream state. By knowledge we mean the illumining principle, that which illumines the object, the samvit or the consciousness or the awareness. So awareness obtained in deep sleep is not different from the awareness in waking and dream state. Why? Swapna bodhavata. Just as the awareness obtaining in the dream state is not different from the awareness obtaining in waking state, so also the awareness obtaining in the deep sleep is not different from the awareness obtaining in the waking and the dream states. Evam, in this manner, sthanatrayepi eka samvita. Thus, in these verses it has been shown in this manner, as shown by this discussion, sthanatrayepi, in all the three stages, in all the three places, in all the three states, waking, dream and deep sleep, eka samvita, samvit or awareness is one. So this is excellent. When you show that in all the three states, waking, dream and deep sleep, one awareness obtains. The same awareness illumines the waking objects in waking state, same awareness illumines dream objects in dream states, same awareness illumines ignorance in the deep sleep state. And these three states make up what? One day. What is a day? Consisting of these three states. And what is valid or what is true for one day is true for any other day, isn't it? Because any day has these three states, waking, dream and deep sleep. So what is true for one day is true for any other day. So it says, tadvad dinantare. Similarly also on any other day, the awareness obtaining in the waking, dream and deep sleep states is one alone. Then what obtains on one day or any other day obtains on all the 30 days. That means that is true for the month also, masa. Then the same thing obtains in all the 12 months also, abda, in the year also. For the whole year the awareness obtaining is the same. Then so many years make up what? A yuga, like Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, etc. And so what is true for 1 year is true for 43,200 years also. or 4.32 billion years also, or 8.64 billion years, which makes one kalpa, then also it is true. Or any time it is true, meaning that awareness is the same regardless of time. Gata gammeshu anekada. And what is present, what is true in the present, will be true in future, and was also true in the past. Gata gammeshu, that which is the days which have gone, the days which are coming, and day which is there everywhere, the awareness is the same. And so it is nitya. Nitya means changeless, not subject to the variation of time. Awareness is changeless. Awareness is constant. So awareness is truth. See, logically it is shown. What is revealed by the Shruti or the scriptures is also shown here logically. Now, is there a birth for this awareness? Is there a death for this awareness? He says, no, na udeti. There is no birth of this awareness. Does it die? Does it perish? Na astameti. No, it does not perish also. It doesn't get destroyed also. How many of these awarenesses are there? Eka samvita. Awareness is one alone. Awareness in you, awareness in me, awareness in anyone else is just one awareness alone. And how is that awareness? Esha Swayam Prabha. Samvit is a feminine word, It's a very beautiful word. There is a feminine word for Atma, understand, Samvit. Often they ask, a couple of people have asked me this question. Swamiji, all the time the words that they use, Atma is a masculine word, Purusha is a masculine word. Every time the words that are used for self are masculine words. Because Sanskrit language also is evolved by a man or what? I said, no, it just happens. I said, don't worry, there are feminine words also for the same entity. Samvit is feminine word, I was happy. I said, Chiti, there is another word, Chiti means consciousness, feminine word. Why worry about it? Vidya is feminine. Shruti is feminine. Its mother is feminine. Without that we can't be. And therefore, it's everywhere. She was happy. This is fine. So, Esha is a feminine, Etat. Esha Swayam Prabha. This samvit, this awareness is Swayam Prabha, is self-effulgent. Without birth, without death, self-shining, illumining everything. And that is how awareness is. Awareness also is feminine, isn't it? Word awareness, the feminine word also. Now going to the same thing explained by the commentator. Sabodha, that is from the verse Sabodha. Saushupta Ajnana Anubhavaha. That Bodha, the knowledge, Saushupta Ajnana Anubhavaha. Experience of ignorance in the deep sleep state. That Bodha. So that knowledge which illumines the ignorance in the deep sleep state, Vishayat Bhinnaha, Vishayat Ajnanat Bhinnaha, Pruthak Bhavitum Arhate Bodhatvat. So that awareness in the deep sleep also should be different from ignorance that is illumined by the awareness. Why? Bodhatvat, because it is awareness. Just as in the waking state, the awareness that illumines such objects as pot, etc., is different from the pot, etc. And so also in the deep sleep state, the awareness that illumines the ignorance should be different from ignorance, because bodhatvat, because it is bodha or awareness. How do you say? What is the illustration? Ghata bodhavat. Ghata bodhavat, just as in the knowledge of a part, how the knowledge or awareness is different from the part that is illumined by awareness, so also the awareness which illumines ignorance must be different from the ignorance. Bodhantarat na bhidyate. However, that awareness is not different from the awareness obtaining in the waking state or awareness obtaining in the dream state. Why do we say bodhatvat? Because it is awareness. These are all inferences where hetu is given. Wherever fifth case is there, understand there is hetu, the cause. Where vat is there, there is drashtanta or illustration. Swapna bodhavat, as the awareness obtaining in the dream state. So awareness obtaining the deep sleep state is not different from awareness, any other awareness, just as the awareness obtaining in the dream state. Simple. That awareness is different from the objects illumined by it, and awareness is one alone. Whereas the objects keep on changing, the awareness that illumines the objects remains changeless. And so, what is it that is that ultimately is the result of this? Phalitam kathayan uktanyayam anyatrapi atidishati. Phalitam kathayan, stating now what obtains as a result of this discussion. Uktanyayam, the same rule or the same truth that we find in these three states. Anyatrapi atidishati. The author extends that same rule or the same logic to other days also. Evam ityadina. So the second line of the verse 6 said, Evam sthanatrepi eka samvita. The Tikakara explained that sthanatrepi ekadinavartini jagradadi avasthatrepi samvita eka eva. Sarvam vakyam savadharanam iti nyayat. Sthanatrayepi, that's in the verse. What is Sthanatrayepi? Jagradadi avasthatrayepi. Sthana means location, which means in the three states also, waking, dream and deep sleep. Ekadina vartini, obtaining on any given day. Samvit eka. And then the Tikakara adds one evakara. Eka eva. The awareness is one indeed, one alone. Why did you add that evakara? Eva, as you know, is for emphasis. Eva means definitely. Definitely the awareness in all the three states is one alone. What makes it definite? It is sarvam vakyam savadharanam. This is a rule in Sanskrit. That every statement is savadharanam. Avadharanam is nischaya or ascertainment. So every statement always expresses an ascertained opinion. Therefore, when the author here says that awareness is one, we can say that awareness is one alone, or awareness is indeed one in all the three states. On any one day. Then tadvat dinantare, and so also on other days, and the months, and the yuga, and kalpa, and everywhere else. And that's what the Tikakara says, yatha ekasmin divase avasthatrayepi jnanasya abhedah evam anyasminnapi divase anekadha aneka prakarena gatagamyeshu atita agamishu maseshu chaitradishu abdeshu prabhavadishu yugeshu krutadishu kalpeshu brahmadishu च ज्ञानस्य अभेदः एव इत्यर्थः. यथा एकस्मिन् दिवसे अवस्थात्रयेपि ज्ञानस्य अभेदः. Just as on any given day, in all the three states, the awareness is one alone. Even though the states keep on changing, waking, dream, awareness does not change. The objects keep on changing, awareness does not change. Evam, similarly also, anyasminapi divase. On any other day also, the same rule obtains. Because a day is a day. What obtains today also obtains tomorrow, because tomorrow also is a day. Anekadha aneka prakarena gatagamyeshu. In various ways, the days which are gone and the days which are coming. Also, what obtains in one day obtains in 30 days. So, maseshu, in the month, such as Chaitra, like Chaitra, this is the name of a month. In months such as Chaitra, etc. And what obtains in 1 month obtains in 12 months, and therefore Abdeshu Prabhava is the name of a year. Every year is named. Every day is named, every month is named, Every year is named, every yuga is named, every kalpa is named. If you remember when we were doing the puja of Lord Dakshinamurti on that day, on the 14th, Chandramouli was reciting that sankalpa. There all these things were stated there. Which particular kalpa is going on, which kalpa month is going on, which day is going on, which place is this. So you pinpoint everything. So God knows where this is going. There is a universal computer, So in the computer, everything must be, the data must be properly, what shall I say? The data must be properly fed into the computer. And so you must pinpoint everything. So you must pinpoint exactly the place, the time, and the person who is doing it. And how do you pinpoint the person from his birth? How do you describe the birth? Based on the position of these constellations that are obtaining at the time of the birth, nakshatra, and the year. From that you pinpoint the person, and you pinpoint the time, and you pinpoint the place, and you pinpoint the purpose for which you are doing this. When this is done, this particular action gets registered in the universal computer. Accordingly, the result will come. So that's why before undertaking any task, they always do this sankalpa. Sankalpa means a resolve that I am performing this action for my antahkarana shuddhi, for the general welfare, or for my particular welfare, or for the welfare of so and so. That freedom you have. You can perform the action for the welfare of someone else also. How can it be that I perform an action and somebody else gets the benefit? It happens all the time. My lawyer, he pleads my case in the court, and I may not lose the case, isn't that so? So it's not unusual, this. Or there is what we call gift subscription. I give the gift subscription for Reader's Digest here, and that thing goes to India. And similarly also, I can perform an action, but I make a statement here that this particular result must go to so and so. So it goes accordingly. That is how otherwise they say that for the departed souls who already departed, you perform some charitable action here, how can they gain the result? Because I make a statement here. That action that is being performed here may go to the departed soul. For locating the departed soul, I repeat his name and everything else so that he is located where it goes. And who performs the action, his name and his date, etc. is all also registered here. And so it's all very systematic. Anyway, here how the Tikakara gives name Yugeshu Krutadishu, because there is Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, such yugas. Kalpeshu, Brahmadishu, Brahma Kalpa. Kalpa means a cycle of creation. Up to the whole cycle of creation, any number of cycles of creation, awareness is same, changeless. Brahmadishu jnanasya abhedaha eva ityarthaha. And so awareness is changeless. Everything else keeps on changing. Thus awareness illumines the whole changing creation. They constantly changing objects, constantly changing the states of awareness or states of mind, constantly changing the world. All of this is constantly illumined by awareness, which itself remains changeless. And so, what obtains from there? Samvidaha ekatva samarthane phalamaha. Now that it has been shown how awareness is one alone and changeless also, then what obtains? Then in the fourth line it is said, Nodeti nastametyeka. Na udeti, awareness does not arise, means it is not born. Na astameti, nor does it die. It is free from birth and death. Why? Because yataha samvit eka, ataha na udeti, na utpadyate, na astameti, na vinashyati cha. Since samvit or awareness is one alone, therefore we say that it is not born nor does it die. It's interesting. Just because awareness is one, therefore there cannot be birth of awareness or death of awareness. Why? he says that. Asakshikayoho utpatti vinashayoho asiddhe. Without the witness, you cannot arrive at the birth, you cannot arrive at the death. He says, asakshikayoho utpatti vinashayoho asiddhehe. Utpatti means creation or birth, vinasha means death. Unless there is a witness to this phenomena of birth and death, you cannot arrive at or you cannot establish birth and death. Is it right? Can we establish the birth of a given thing if nobody has seen it? We cannot establish death also if nobody has seen it. So birth and death and any other phenomenon can be established, proven only when there is a witness. Now who will witness the birth and death of awareness? What is this? Answering machine. That's interesting. Okay. Who will witness the birth of awareness? Because awareness is one alone, and awareness is a witness of every form of experience. So who will witness the birth of awareness? If there were another awareness, then that awareness can witness the birth of this awareness. But since awareness is one alone, we said the awareness that obtains in waking is the awareness obtaining in dream, is the awareness obtaining in deep sleep, is the awareness obtaining on any other day, and there is one awareness only, therefore. And so there is no one who we can witness the birth of this awareness. No other awareness which can witness the death of this awareness. And therefore, the birth and death of awareness cannot be established. You cannot prove or cannot arrive at. Somebody said, well, let awareness witness its own birth. Cannot. Because one cannot simultaneously perform the two roles of drashta and drushya, karta and karma. Therefore, we cannot prove the birth of Atma, of I. We cannot prove the death of Atma. I cannot see my own birth, I cannot see my own death. I means Atma. I cannot see the birth of Atma, nor can I see the birth of death of Atma. Because in order to see the birth, I must be there before the birth, which I cannot be. In order to see my own death, I must be there after the death. Isn't it? When can you establish the death of something? When someone is the witness is there after the death also. Then we can say death has taken place. Doctor must be there to say that, to give the death certificate, because the doctor is there after the death of the person. Or birth certificate also when the doctor is there before the birth. I cannot witness my own birth because for witnessing my own birth I must be present before the birth, which I cannot be. Nor can I witness my own death because for witnessing death I must be present after the death, which I cannot be. So you can't prove that you are born or you are dying. Can you prove that? How do you say that I am going to die? How can you even say that I was born? You have not seen your birth. Nor can you ever see your death. No, somebody else saw my birth. Well, there is only one seer. There is only one witness. And therefore, that witness cannot witness its own birth or own death. And there is no one other than the witness for establishing the birth or death. And therefore, Atma has no birth, no death. Awareness has no birth, no death. Simple logic. So this is all intellect. It's not intellectual. This is, if we can bear this in mind, then there is no fear of death because there is no death. And there is no complex. I was never born. If I was born, then there is a question of my bringing all kinds of samskaras and stuff like that. I was never born. And if I am going to die, then I can be afraid of anything. There is no death. If this much knowledge can be actually translated into our thought, it can be translated into our thinking process. It can enter into our thinking process, then that's all we need. So this much knowledge is enough actually. These few verses are enough for us, That awareness is one, I am that awareness. is changeless beyond birth and death. I am self-shining and I illumine everything. Everything is there because I am there. I shine because everything shines. I shine and then everything shines. Everything shines because I shine. Why do I shine? Because I shine. Why does the world shine? Because I shine. Why do I shine? Because I shine. I cannot but shine. That's what it is. Esha Swayam Prabha. You know where these statements come from, these kind of statements. So that's what the Tikakara says, asakshikayoho utpatti vinashayoho asiddhehe. Since any phenomenon and utpatti, creation is a phenomenon, birth is a phenomenon, vinasha, death is a phenomenon, no phenomenon can be arrived at unless there is a witness of that phenomenon. So utpatti vinashayoho taya eva samvida grahitum ashakyatvat. Since awareness itself cannot witness its own birth and own death, because there cannot be witnessing of the witness, or in one there cannot be simultaneously the functions of witnessing and the witnessed, or the karta and karma. Samvidantara bhavacha, and there is no other awareness anyway which can witness the birth or death of this awareness, and therefore awareness is one alone and without birth and death. There is no udaya, it doesn't arise, no asta, doesn't diminish. Now when you say this, one question arose. Says, well, you cannot, samvid or awareness cannot see itself. If awareness cannot see itself, then awareness cannot be known. If awareness cannot be known, then there will be all darkness. Awareness illumines everything, you say, but awareness itself cannot be known. In that case, nothing can be known. It says, nanu samvidantara abhave grahaka abhavat asyahapi abhane jagadandhyam prasajjeta ityatah aha. Samvidantara abhave, you say that awareness is one alone, there is no other awareness. Grahaka abhavat, and therefore there is no one who knows this awareness. See, awareness is one that illumines everything. Awareness itself cannot be illumined by anything else. Awareness is that which objectifies everything. But awareness cannot be objectified by anything. And therefore, there is no one who knows awareness, isn't it? Awareness knows everything. But who knows awareness? No one. Awareness objectifies everything. But awareness cannot be objectified. Therefore, there is no one who knows awareness. Grahaka bhavad. There is no knower of awareness. Sa panipado javano grahita pashyami chakshuhu sashranoti karanaha aham vijanami vivikta rupaha na chaste vetta mamachit sadaham. Aham vijanami. I know everything. Na chasti mama vetta. Nobody knows me. Awareness says that I know everything, but nobody knows me. Atma says, I know everything, nobody knows me. If nobody knows you, then how do you say that you are there? If nobody knows awareness, then how do you say awareness is? If awareness cannot be objectified. See, we say that the microphone is because microphone is objectified. Microphone becomes the object of knowledge. The existence of anything can be established only when that thing can be known. The existence of a part can be established when a part can be known. If awareness cannot be known, then how can you establish the existence of awareness? How do you say awareness is? And if awareness is not, then nothing can be illumined. Jagat andhya prasangaha. Then the whole world will be dark, which means that there will be ignorance alone. This is this problem. Nanu samvidantara abhave grahaka abhavat. When you say that awareness is one alone, there is no other awareness, then there is no one who is grahaka, who is the knower of this awareness. Asyaha api abhane, and therefore this awareness also is not known, and therefore this awareness will never shine. Jagat andhyam prasajjeta. In that case, the whole world will be dark, which means that there will be only ignorance. Ityataha esha swayam prabha. He says, you do not have to objectify awareness. You do not have to know awareness, because it is Swayam Prabha, it is self-shining. Don't try to objectify Atma. Don't try to know Atma. The very attempt to know the Atma is denial of that knowledge. The very attempt to objectify awareness or Atma is a denial of that knowledge. Because Atma or awareness is Swayam Prabha, self-shining. Atra ayam prayogaha. This inference is involved here when we say that the awareness is self-shining. How did you arrive at this conclusion? Says here, Samvit Swayam Prakasha Avedyatve Sati Aprokshatvat Vyatireke Ghatavata. This technical way of expressing. This is called pratigna, or what you want to prove. Samvit Swayam Prakasha. We say that the awareness is self-effulgent. Why do you say Avedyatve Sati Aprokshatvat? Because awareness is aparoksha. It is direct or immediate. But then it is somewhat different. See, this microphone also is aparoksha. Microphone also is known directly and immediately. So also awareness is also direct and immediate. But what is the difference between microphone and awareness? Microphone is vedya, something that is objectified. Awareness is avedya, that which cannot be objectified. So it is said here, avedyatve sati aparokshatvat. Awareness is that which cannot be objectified, but still it is direct or immediate. Vyatireke ghatavata. Illustration is given. But a opposite illustration is given. What? Ghatavat. Like a pot. Or like a microphone, let us say. So microphone, what? You can say. Like microphone. Vyatireka. So like microphone is something that is known. It is aparoksha, alright. But it is what? Vedya. We have no illustration of Atma. And therefore in order to arrive at inference here, we always have to give the opposite example, because there is no example which can illustrate Atma. But then the method is to give the opposite illustration. That will exclude everything else. So Vyatireke Ghatavat, like a pot. Pot is known alright, pot is aparoksha alright, directly perceived alright, but it is objectified. What is awareness? Directly known alright, but not objectified. So therefore we say that awareness is Swayam Prakasha, is self-effulgent. Unlike a pot, which is not self-effulgent. A pot is what? Illumined by something else. Pot is, or microphone is called jada or inert. Why do we call it inert? Because it does not shine by itself. It has to be illumined. See, this you must have heard, that everything in the creation requires some pramanam to prove its existence. Like a microphone. In order to prove the existence, microphone requires a pramanam, eyes. Because eyes illumine the microphone, then alone the presence of the microphone can be established. Otherwise you would not know microphone is. Eyes, that applies to every object in the world. That applies to eyes also. Even you would not know the eyes unless eyes are illumined by the mind. That also applies to mind. You would not know that the mind is unless mind was illumined by awareness, by the self. And therefore, every object in the creation can be known only when we are aware of it. Only when some pramanam, some means of knowledge is there. But how about Atma? Is it necessary that Atma also should be illumined by means of knowledge, then alone it can be known? He says no. Atma is the only thing that doesn't have to be proven. Everything in the creation has to prove itself for establishing its existence. Atma is the one which does not have to prove himself in order to establish the existence, because it is self-shining. Everything else shines after. And so everything else requires to be illumined by some means of knowledge. Atma does not require to be illumined because it is self-effulgent. So unlike a pot, Vyatireke Ghatavat, unlike a pot requires something else to illumine, and therefore it is not self-effulgent. Atma doesn't require anything to illumine, therefore Atma or Samvid is self-effulgent. And a little technical point, nacha ayam visheshana siddho hetuhu. What is hetu? You know here, avedyatve sati aparokshatvat. This is hetu. Samvit swayam prakasha, awareness is self-effulgent. Why? Avedyatve sati aparokshatvat. While being avedya, non-objectified, aparokshatvat, it is still directly known. Aparoksha, it is directly known without being objectified. Unlike a pot, which is directly known alright, but is objectified. Nachayam visheshana asiddho hetuhu. In the hetu, avedyatve sati is visheshanam and aparokshatvad is hetu. Aparokshatvad is hetu, avedyatve sati is visheshanam. He says avedyatve sati or not being objectified is not proven. He says no, it is proven. Samvidaha swasamvedyatve karma kartu virodhat. If you say that awareness knows itself, swasamvedyatva means what? Awareness knows itself. In that case, awareness is simultaneously the knower as well as known. Karma kartru virodhat, that cannot be. Therefore, you cannot say that awareness knows itself. If you say that you require another awareness to illumine this awareness, they say that how can you prove the existence of awareness? Existence of anything can be proven only when you are aware of it. Similarly also he says that existence of awareness can be proven only when you can be aware of awareness. We say that if you have to be aware of awareness, how will it be? Will you say that awareness is aware of itself or some other awareness is aware of awareness? In order to be aware of awareness, either awareness itself is aware of itself or some other awareness should be there which is aware of this awareness. If you say that awareness is aware of itself, then within awareness there is a split, that there is knower awareness and known awareness. Awareness is aware of itself, means awareness is simultaneously knower as well as known. And one thing cannot be simultaneously this. And so it cannot be that awareness is swasamvedya or knowing itself. Then maybe some other awareness knows this awareness. If you say that some other awareness knows this awareness, then who knows that other awareness? If you say that to prove the existence of this awareness, some other awareness is required, then how do you say that other awareness is? Oh, I know it. How? Because yet another awareness is. How do you know that awareness is? And like this it will go ad infinitum. Somewhere you have to accept that there is a self-effulgent awareness which illumines other awarenesses. If somewhere you have to accept it right away. And therefore, this awareness itself is self-effulgent. Paravedyatve anavasthanat. Anavastha means infinite regression. And so if you say that this awareness requires another awareness to illumine, then that will lead to ad infinitum. And that also is not right. You know what will happen? You will never know anything. These doshas, these logical defects will create problem in vyavahara. See, our experience is that we know things. The world is known, that is established experience. Pot and cloth and a microphone, all these things are known. That you have to accept. Now if these things are known, then who illumines them? Awareness illumines them. But then who illumines awareness? If awareness illumines itself, then there is a problem. If some other awareness illumines this awareness, then also there is a problem. In which case illumination will not be arrived at and there will be no knowledge taking place. But knowledge takes place, therefore illumination is. Therefore, awareness is self-illuminating, which means it is self-shining. That's all. That is why ataha, he says, स्वप्रकाशत्वेन भासमानायाः संविदः सर्वाभासकत्व संभवात् न जगदान्ध्य प्रसंगः इति भावः. And therefore, स्वप्रकाशत्वेन, awareness is self-effulgent. It is self-evident. And that is how it has to be known. Atma is self-evident and it should be known that way. If you try to know Atma, if you try to objectify Atma and say I know Atma, that means that you are eliminating Atma. Then Atma is not known as self-evident. So Atma is to be known as the self-evident or self-effulgent principle. Ataha swapraka. That is the reason why all activities of knowledge must cease. Yada pancavatisthande, as Kathopanishad says, when all the five organs of perception, all of them have become quiet. Jnanani manasasaha. When all the jnanendriyas, all the objects of, all the sense of perceptions have become quiet, along with the mind also has become quiet. Buddhischana vicheshtati. The buddhi also does not have any chesta. Buddhi also doesn't try to objectify anything. There is also resolve. Buddhischana vicheshtati sa paramagatihi. That state, or that is called tam yogamitu manyan. This is called yoga. This state of mind, where sense organs also have become quiet, mind also has become quiet, intellect also has become quiet, then Atma shines by itself. Apramattaha tada bhavati. Then one knows the self as a self-effulgent self. But you cannot, if you try to see Atma, try to hear Atma, try to feel Atma, try to experience Atma, all of these are very frustrating experiences. Because you just cannot do that. And if you think that you have felt Atma, you have definitely felt something else. If you think that you have sensed Atma, you have sensed something else anyway. Very frustrating. On one hand you cannot feel. If you feel, then it's not what it should be. And then I want to feel, but you cannot feel. So there must be so much vairagya. The vairagya must be even in trying to feel Atma. Even that desire also should not be there. That kind of vairagya is required. Otherwise I want to know something, think something, feel something. Well, as long as even this is there, so long also some activity is there, some restlessness is there, and you are not silent. Silence means aware you are, not sleeping, aware you are, but without any kind of restlessness. That is the ultimate in vairagya. Let alone trying to experience an outer object. That is gone. I certainly do not want to experience any outer object, but I do not even want to experience Atma. Even that desire also is not there. Then when the mind becomes quiet. As long as some desire is there in the mind, so long the mind does not become quiet. So why do we talk about vairagya or ichcha rahityam, freedom from desire? Not because we are interested in rejecting the objects or rejecting the life or anything. We are interested in knowing the Atma. To know the self, the mind must become totally silent. Only when the mind is silent, then you know the silent awareness. It cannot be silent if it is disturbed by desire, or disturbed by likes or dislikes, or disturbed by anything. And so we want to just eliminate all disturbing elements. In the silent mind, awareness is, Atma is self-shining. And so self-shining, silent awareness I am. This is how I know myself. Ataha swaprakashatvena bhasamanayaha samvidaha, of the awareness which illumines or shines by itself, self-effulgent, sarvabhasakatva sambhavat. Awareness or Atma is self-effulgent, is self-illumining, and illumines everything else. Sarvabhasakatva sambhavat. It illumines, it shines by itself, and illumines everything. This is called samvit, which shines itself and illumines everything else. And so, na jagadandya prasanga. Don't worry, there is no ignorance or darkness in the world. So, it's not necessary that you have to know samvit in order to illumine the world. Samvit itself illumines, it is shining by itself and illumines everything else. And thus, in these verses, the author has proven that awareness is one in all the three states, at all the time. It is free from birth and death, which means it is nitya. And it is what? Swayam Brabha, self-effulgent. It is self-effulgent, illumining everything, changeless, constant, without birth and death. This is the nature of awareness. So two things are proven. Awareness is what? Chit. And it is changeless, therefore it is Sat. It does not change, therefore it is Sat. And it shines, therefore it is Chit. Now a third thing has to be shown, it is Ananda. And that the author proceeds to show next. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.